week after the IRS admitted it flagged applications for tax-exempt status from groups with conservative-sounding names. The agency's outgoing commissioner blamed the problems on overloaded workers, not political targeting. So listen to this crucial question that Stephen Miller answered at a hearing yesterday.
Did you ever have any contact, either by email, phone, or in person, with the White House regarding the targeting of tax-exempt groups from 2010 until today?
Absolutely not.
All right, let's bring in our legal guys. Avery Friedman, a civil rights attorney and law professor, joining us from Cleveland. Good to see you.
Hi, Frederica.
And Richard Herman, a New York criminal defense attorney and law professor, joining us from Las Vegas. Good to see you as well.
Hey, Fred.
All right, gentlemen, so Stephen Miller he resigned this week as acting commissioner, but he still showed up on Capitol Hill yesterday facing tough questions, and you heard his response. Miller said that the IRS division that handles requests for tax-exempt status was, in his words, overloaded because of the Supreme Court's 2010 Citizens United decision. So, Richard, explain the correlation there.
Yeah, well, in 2010, the Supreme Court, in that Citizens United, gave overly broad powers now to corporations, and many corporations flooded the IRS to get tax-exempt status. What the IRS did here was really put the screws to certain groups that were seeking that status under the umbrella of, if your company is involved in political activity, if that's the intent and the purpose of your entity, you're disqualified from tax-exempt status. So that was the rationale behind the IRS. And in the end, Fred, in the end, when the smoke clears here, this is administrative and regulatory. It is not going to rise to criminality, despite the Tea Party waving flags and the Republican Party getting up in arms over.
This is not criminal. The words impeachment and jail time being used here might be an overreach, but an independent counsel is something that would be appropriate.
But what's interesting to note here, Fred, is that when the former commissioner testified in July of 2012 before Congress and was specifically asked in 2012 about what was going on here with the tax-exempt status and the inquiries by the IRS, he made like he didn't know.